All right, let's be clear. Your purpose is the key to living the life that you desire to live. So all the money that you've been desiring, all the happiness and fulfillment that you're desiring, that spiritual alignment feeling that you've been desiring is on the opposite end of your purpose. And the problem is this, is that most people have been taught that their purpose is hard to find, like it's outside of themselves. Is that your purpose means you have to volunteer and be broke your whole life. Or maybe you think that I have to get rich first and then live in my purpose. Or maybe you think that you're not qualified enough to make the difference that you know God is calling you to make. Well, in this video, we're gonna break down each one of those myths. And I'm gonna show you why the life that you're desiring, the money, the impact, the traveling, the relationships, everything that you're desiring in your life is on the opposite end of your purpose. Because trust me, it's living in my purpose that allowed me to get to where I'm at. And I'm gonna show you exactly how is it that you can do that for yourself as well. So before we get into it, my name is Kusudi. And listen, I've been blessed to not only discover my purpose, but help thousands of people all around this world live in their purpose. I've spoken on stages from colleges to high schools, to events, to corporations like Verizon, different countries like India, Africa. And when I was 24 years old, I raised my first $1 million for a company that helps people discover and live in their purpose, that's been able to make a positive impact in people in 41 different states and 9 different countries. So guys, listen, I'm a peer proof that discovering and living in your purpose not only going to bring you the prosperity, but the happiness, the fulfillment, and the impact that you're desiring. And I'm going to show you exactly how. And I've been blessed to coach high-level entrepreneurs holding different retreats all around this world, from Tulum, Miami, Virginia, literally all around this world, helping my clients live in their purpose and truly create the reality that they desire to live in. So guys, listen, I'm about to show you why everything you're desiring is on the opposite end of your purpose. And I got to do it quick before the sun goes down. There's 3 aspects to success, and most people only talk about the financial freedom. But there's 2 other aspects that are very important. It's personal fulfillment and spiritual alignment. And most of the clients that I work with, high-level business professionals, entrepreneurs, influencers, celebrities, as they have the financial freedom, but they're missing the personal fulfillment and the spiritual alignment. So before we even talk about the finances, let's cover the foundation. So the number one key to success that your purpose gives you access to is your personal fulfillment. Listen, if you're watching this video right now, you know that there's a deeper calling on your life. You know there's the impact you're supposed to be making. You know you've been through things that have destroyed other people, and you want to be able to go back and help those people. And guys, this is what your personal fulfillment comes from. But what stops most people in this specific aspect is they think they're not qualified. You think that you're not good enough. Or maybe because you're still going through a tough time in a certain aspect, you're not qualified to be able to help somebody else. But here's the thing that I want you to understand is you've been through something in your life that has literally destroyed somebody else. I don't care if it's mental abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, addiction, bullying, whatever it is, you've been through something that somebody else has lost their life to, that somebody else has lost their mind to, that somebody else has lost their spirit to. And if you've been able to overcome it, that's proof that God has you still here for a reason. And that makes you more than qualified. So the person that God is calling you to help is a past version of yourself. So here's the question I want you to ask for this is, what is it that I've overcome? And how is it that I can start back helping those exact same people? And somebody may say like, yo, Kusudi, this sounds like volunteer work. It's like, nah, listen, I've been able to do over 7 figures because at a certain point in my life, I didn't know what my purpose was. And once I discovered my purpose, I set out and helped the world do the same. And this is taking me all around this world on stages, getting paid over 7 figures, raising over 7 figures for a company, doing multiple million, helping people live in their purpose. So this is why your personal fulfillment is super important. Because once you have that intact, then you could talk about step number 2, which is your financial freedom. Guys, listen, I've coached high-level people who are doing multiple millions of business, even high 6 figures. And it's these people that come to me because they thought that when they had the money, that's when they were going to have the happiness. That's when they were going to have the peace and the fulfillment. And that's what most people are doing right now, is you're chasing the money. You're looking at what everybody is doing on social media. I don't care if it's crypto, real estate, stocks, whatever it is. You're trying to chase the trends to make money because you think once I get that, then I'll feel satisfied. But trust me, even if you're somebody watching this video right now that you've made the money, you know that happiness is not found in the money. You know that personal fulfillment is not found in the money. There has to be a deeper calling to that. And what stops most people from going for their purpose at the beginning is they think living in their purpose means living broke. And guys, that's not the truth at all. I want you to write this down and understand this. Your prosperity is in your purpose. How do I know this? Imagine this. This is what you're doing right now. Imagine you go to a restaurant and you order some chicken tender and fries, a $20 meal, right? And the waiter comes back and hands you a bill for $700. What are you going to do? And on this bill, it says crab legs, lobster, right? Dom Perignon, right? Like, it's a crazy bill. What is it that you're going to do? Are you going to pay it? Nah, you'll hit the waiter up and be like, yo, this ain't my bill. I didn't order this. All I had was a $20 bill. So why would I pay for something I didn't order? Well, I want you to ask yourself the same thing. Why would God pay for something that God didn't order? See, you're not going to pay for something that you didn't order, but yeah, you want God to pay for something God didn't order. So you're like, yo, God, give me the money. Allow me to travel. Allow me to go to Miami. Allow me to go to Mexico. Give me the clothes. Give me the Lamborghini. You're asking for all these different things, but God didn't order none of that. But God said, yo, listen, if you do the thing that I called you to do, if you make the impact that I called you to make, if you live in your purpose the way that I called you to be, if you make the difference in the lives of others how I called you to be, then I'll pay for everything that you're desiring, because I always pay for what I order. So I will send the people. I'll give you the money. I'll give you the resources. I'll open up the doors. I'll put you in the right environments. I'll send you everything necessary for the fulfillment of the thing that I've called you to be in this world. So you got to understand that your prosperity is in your purpose, because your purpose is the thing that God called you to do. And God will never call you to do something without giving you the resources in order to fulfill on it. So guys, listen, the prosperity that you're desiring, the money that you're desiring, the fulfillment that you're desiring, those things are wrapped all in your purpose. And that brings me to point number 3, which is your spiritual alignment. There's no alignment like being aligned with the thing that God has called you to be. See, I talk about this concept of God's will versus free will. And where most people are not in alignment is because their free will doesn't match up with God's will. So God has called you for a purpose in this world. God has called you to make a difference. You've actually accepted that difference before you came here. You accepted it. I don't care whatever most indigenous philosophies and spiritual systems, they all have the same belief, is that you accepted an assignment, a soul contract before you came on this earth, and you already accepted what is it that your mission is going to do. And your whole point of being here is to remember that and live in alignment with that. So your alignment happens when your free will matches up with the reason that the Creator has called you to be. And the moment those things align, that is when you have spiritual alignment. So most of you right now, you feel spiritually depleted. You feel spiritually lost. You feel spiritually just out of tune. It is because you're not doing anything that God has called you to do. So how would you ever feel connected to the Creator when you're not living for the reason that you were created to be in this world? Does that make sense? So you have to get in spiritual alignment. And there's no higher spiritual alignment than being in alignment with the calling that you have in this world. So guys, the moment you know your purpose, you get in alignment. That's when all 3 of those aspects come into alignment: your personal fulfillment, your spiritual alignment, and your financial freedom. Now, I know what you're watching this video right now, and I know what you're thinking. Well, Kusudi, how do I find my purpose? Right? Well, let's first talk about this. The reason most people don't know what their purpose is because you've been taught to go and find your purpose. Have you heard somebody say that before? Find yourself, find your purpose. But the only problem with finding is there's a preconceived notion that something is lost. Well, Kusudi, how do I find my purpose? Well, let me be very clear. You would never, ever find your purpose. You're like, bruh, what you talk about? That's the reason you tell me my purpose is about prosperity and I can make money and I can be fulfilled. I need to find you will never find your purpose. And that's the reason you don't know what your purpose is right now, is because you've been trying to find it. See, finding is outwardly looking. It's having you go from city to city, relationship to relationship, job to job. But if you find something, there's a pre-assumption that something is lost. And you can never lose who you truly are. So your purpose isn't about outwardly looking and trying to find something. Your purpose is about going within and discovering the very thing that God has placed inside of you. And if you want to know how, I'll give you the free training that I've done on stages all around this world. And I'll give you a free 15-minute training for absolutely free. And in this 15 minutes, when you go through and answer these questions, by the end of it, you're going to have absolute clarity on what your purpose is. Guys, listen, this is the same process that has gotten me on stage like people with Tony Robbins, that has brought me into companies like Verizon. I mean, this is a training I've done all around this world, and I want to give it to you for absolutely free. So somewhere you'll see like a link maybe below or somewhere on this video, right? I want you to click that and I want you to watch the free 15-minute training. And by the end of that training, if you know what your purpose is and you're actually ready to live in it, then book a call with me or somebody from my team and I'll show you exactly how to live in it. And at the end of the training, if you still feel a bit lost, then still book a call. And I would love to show you and support you on how to discover your purpose. Guys, listen, it's time for you to get in alignment with your assignment. And it's not until you do that that everything you're desiring will be opened unto you. And I look forward to you clicking the link, discover your purpose, and seeing the impact that you make in this world. And if you've gotten value out of this video, then like, share, subscribe. Share the video with somebody that you know needs some purpose in their life. We all know somebody that needs a little purpose. I look forward to seeing you on the call after you watch the free training. Peace.